Well, the thing is that the EU is not really willing or interested to compromise very much, and has not really got much of an incentive to compromise, because the EU is worried about several things. They're worried about setting some dangerous precedents they can't undermine the four freedoms. There's Merkel right from the beginning said we can't have any cherry picking, and I think she was speaking for all the EU member states. So what that means is that you can't say, well, I want free movement of goods and I want free movement of capital, but I don't want free movement of labour. I don't want to apply ECJ rules, and I don't want to pay into the EU budget, because that undermines the whole EU project itself. The whole idea of the EU project is it's a single market on a continental scale with complete free movement of goods, services, capital and labour, a common set of rules, and a common set of rules policed by a common institution, the ECJ. That's the framework that they've worked hard to build, and they worry that Brexit could lead to the unravelling of that framework. So around the edges of that framework, they can compromise. They can compromise on how much the UK pays into the budget. They can compromise on some rules about how they adjudicate disputes, but they can't really compromise on that core, which is the core of the EU. And they don't actually have much of an incentive to compromise, because the balance of trade is very much in favour of the fact, yes, the EU trades more with the UK in terms of volume of trade than the UK trades with the EU, but in terms of the percentage of the EU's GDP, that's only around about 3% of EU GDP, whereas for the UK trade with the EU is around about 20% of UK GDP. And so in terms of, there's an asymmetric bargaining power balance, which means that the UK is in a weaker bargaining position than the EU.